This is one of the most basic laws of psychology that deserves repetition and constant re-examination, because it doesn't reach those who really need to hear it. When people are starved of reliable, consistent love in their early years, they grow up not merely without love. They grow up afraid of it. They develop, quietly and without any conscious intention, a deep and thorough allergy to the very thing they most desperately need. At a societal level, we continue to believe in uncomplicated ways that what everyone wants is to be loved. We design romantic comedies around it. We write songs about the hunger for it. We build entire industries on the assumption that the pursuit of love is universal and straightforward. This is desperately untrue. Anyone who has not enjoyed warmth in childhood, who has not been the recipient of steady, patient, and unconditional care as a small person, will not feel comfortable at all when genuine love comes along in later life. They will do their utmost to destroy it and to hide from themselves that this is what they're up to. They will be utterly convinced that they are one of love's great seekers. They will tell their friends over dinner that all they want is to find the right person. They will download the dating apps with sincere hope. They will cry at weddings with what feels like genuine longing. And then, with ruthless and unconscious precision, they will make absolutely sure that every real opportunity for love is quietly strangled before it can take hold. They will do this in two main ways. Firstly, by falling, and falling hard, for people who are fundamentally unavailable. People who are emotionally sealed off and who run cold, who offer just enough warmth to keep hope alive before withdrawing again. People who are unreliable, dismissive, or so consumed by their own wounds that they have nothing left to offer. This person will become an object of obsession. There will be something electric and urgent about them that feels strangely like home. Despite the chaos, despite the tears and the long silences and the waiting for a text that never comes, the lovesick person will return again and again to the same source of grief. They won't be able to explain why. They'll feel powerless against it. And the feeling of longing, of reaching for someone just out of reach, will feel more real and more alive than anything a kinder person has ever made them feel. And the second method for refusing love will be to quietly dismantle relationships with people who are genuinely good. They may enjoy the early weeks, the novelty, the flattery of being chosen. They might even sustain something for a year or two. But gradually, without being able to name why, they will begin to feel a creeping unease. Their partner is too available, too consistent. There is no drama to decode, no mixed signals to obsess over, no painful uncertainty to fill the hours. Their entire nervous system was calibrated in childhood to expect disappointment, to read silence as danger and kindness as a trap. It is simply not possible for them to feel at home with steadiness. And so, the sabotage begins. They will start to feel with complete sincerity that their perfectly good partner is somehow suffocating them, that they have lost themselves in the relationship, that something, they can't quite say what, is missing. There will be a picking of fights over small things, a sudden renewed interest in an ex, a growing conviction that this person, who has done nothing wrong, is the obstacle to their happiness, rather than its source. They will end things feeling righteous, even relieved. And within weeks, their nervous system will have returned to its familiar, painful baseline. The one that, whatever its miseries, at least feels like the truth. It normally takes an adult between 10 and 30 years, or never, to understand that this is what they have been doing. They need to read the right books, and if they are lucky, find a good therapist. But most of all, they need to accumulate enough wreckage that the pattern finally becomes impossible to ignore. After the third broken engagement, or the fifth relationship ended for reasons that never quite made sense, something may begin to stir. A horrible suspicion that the problem is not the string of wrong people they have chosen, but something closer, something interior, something that arrived long before any of them did. They may be well into middle age when this understanding finally lands. And yet, despite every book written on the subject, despite every therapist's waiting room, despite films exactly like this one, right now, in apartments in Toronto, in Tokyo, in shared houses in Bristol and Buenos Aires, people who were not loved well as children are beginning these cycles all over again.
A thoughtful young woman is composing a message to end things with a man who has been nothing but kind to her, telling herself she just doesn't feel the spark. A young man is canceling a third date with someone who made him laugh for 2 hours and remembered the name of his dog, because something about how much she seemed to like him made his skin crawl. Somewhere tonight, a person is lying awake next to someone who loves them, feeling inexplicably trapped, already planning their exit, already half in love with someone unavailable they met at work. There are patterns here that will keep therapists and divorce lawyers and self-help authors busy for the rest of this century. We believe, as cultures, that we understand love better than previous generations did. We have the vocabulary, the podcasts,
the attachment theory explainers on social media. And still, in the most intimate corners of our lives, we keep walking into the same walls, generation after generation, like people who have memorized the map, but cannot bring themselves to take the road it describes. Let's say it plainly. One more time. If you were not loved well as a child, you are going to try to sabotage love as an adult. Not because you are broken beyond repair, not because you are uniquely self-destructive, but because your nervous system learned, in the only school it had, that love is unsafe, that closeness precedes abandonment, and that the only reliable thing is disappointment. It is doing its job. It is protecting you from a pain it remembers very well. So the next time a kind person looks at you with steady eyes and asks how you are, and actually waits for the answer, and you feel that familiar urge to run, sit with it. Don't act on it immediately. Ask yourself where that feeling comes from. Is it wisdom? Or is it an old wound wearing the costume of wisdom? When you find yourself drawn to someone who makes you feel constantly uncertain, stop and ask whether what you're calling chemistry might actually be the comfort of familiar pain. Don't end things with the person who has been showing up for you consistently, just because their reliability feels unearned or unsettling. Steadiness is not the same as dullness. Safety is not the same as suffocation. And do not go back again to the person who has shown you with great consistency that they cannot or will not love you. If any of this has landed with you, if you recognize yourself somewhere in these words, share this with someone you think needs to hear it. Find a good therapist if you can, and begin, slowly and imperfectly, to let the right people in. Break the pattern.